Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I am filming my Asian Readathon TBR. Asian Readathon is running in the month of May for the whole month because it's Asian Pacific Heritage Month. Asian Readathon also ran last year and I had a best of times. It is made by Read with Cindy. For Asian Readathon has also made this Google Doc where all the information for the Readathon is, so you can go and check that out if you want more information if I'm unclear in this, because you know me. And also it is also the Google Doc filled with Asian books recs. So if you're ever unsure about what to read for Asian Readathon, you can go there and I'm sure you can find anything. I used that myself when I picked up my books to make sure that all the information was correct, etc. It is a great Google Doc. It is very, very big and very resourceful for you. This year there is 4 reading challenges together with a bonus one, and I have picked up my books for that. For those 4 reading challenges there is this extra thing where every book you pick for the challenges, the author should have a different Asian ethnicity. Let's say you only read 2 books but you fulfill all the 4 challenges. Those 2 books still need to be of different ethnicities. But since it is only 4 reading challenges, I need more books to read for the month, and then I have just picked out loads of other Asian books for the month, but there I have not fulfilled the different ethnicity thing because that would be too difficult for several reasons. I took the things I had on my shelves, and if I was going to pick different ethnicities for every single one, that wouldn't work because then I would have to buy new books, etc. But I have fulfilled this for the challenges itself. Let's get into the challenges and I will show you the other books afterwards. The first one and the easiest challenge is to read a book by any Asian author. That is all you have to fulfill. I chose Down and Across by Arvind Ahmadi, and this one is a YA contemporary, and the reason I picked this up when I did was because the author was very funny with his publishers on Twitter, and I read about this book and I really wanted to read it. Also want to read his other work, but I do not know what it actually is about now. This is a recurrent thing for me where I don't like to read a synopsis and I like to be more surprised when picking up the book, etc. And that's why I don't usually know a lot about the synopsis before picking up the book, which you will see in this video. But yeah, this is my first pick for Asian Readathon. The author's Asian ethnicity is Iranian. The next challenge is to read an Asian book where you can relate to the book in some way, and I chose Always and Forever Lara Jean by Jenny Han, and this one I can relate to in the way that the author Jenny Han is a woman and I am a woman and my voice is dying. Lara Jean's dad is white and my parents are white, but that is her biological dad and my parents are not my biological parents, so there's a difference there, but still her dad is white and my parents are white. So I thought that was another thing that we have in common. This is the 3rd and final book in To All of Us I Loved Before, and I wanted to finally finish this series. So the first book follows Lara Jean, who has written love letters to every single boy that she was in love with, and then they get mailed out and then she has to meet the consequences of that. It's funny and cute, romance, YA contemporary. Yay. And the ethnicity of the Asian author here is Korean. The next challenge is then to read an Asian book where they are different from you in either way, either the author, main character, etc. For example, if you're straight, you could read a queer book. If you're a man, you can read a book by a woman, etc. You get it. And there's also, again, more information in the Google Doc if you don't get what I mean. For this one, I chose Love, Hate and Other Filters by Samira Ahmed. This one, the main character is a Muslim and I am not. So then I will read a book about a character that is different from me. I wanted to read this for forever, so I'm finally happy to pick this up. And the author is Indian. The first challenge is to pick up a book that an Asian has recommended to you, and that basically can be any booktuber you watch that has a recommendation video, or you can ask an Asian friend on Twitter or in real life, whatever you choose to do. And if you want me to recommend you a book because you want to use me for this challenge, I will recommend these 2 real quick. We have Darius the Great, It's Not Okay by Abid Khorram. This is one of my favorite books of all time, and it follows Darius, who struggles a lot with depression, and also one of his grandparents gets sick and they go back to Iran to visit them where he has never been before, and he feels really alienated from the people around him, from his family, because he doesn't speak Farsi. And it's just a deep book about identity and discovery and just so much, and I cry like a baby. and it's one of the best books I ever read, so I will always recommend this one. So this is a contemporary. Then I will recommend a fantasy, which is An Ember in Ashes by Sabre Tahir. This one follows Layla, who is a slave. She decides to join the rebellion because her brother is put in jail, and they will help to save him if she helps them to spy on the commander of the army. Speaking about the army, we have Elias, who is one of the masks, one of the most brutal people in the empire to work for the empire, and their paths crosses, and there's also just so much more than that. It's very brutal and dark and full of torture and murder, so it's very different from Diaries of Grey, Son of K. So I recommend the two very different books. This is also one of my favorite books of all time. Really recommend, so you pick one of those, you will not regret it. And for the book I'm gonna read for this challenge, I asked my friend Justine, who is Asian. We recommend books to each other all the time, but I asked her specifically for this, and I'm going to read The Empress of Salt and Fortune by Nhi Vu, who is Vietnamese, and I don't know what this is about. I just know it's a short novella. It's around 100, 200, maybe something pages. I have ordered my copy, but it's not here yet, so hopefully it would arrive in May, so I will get to read it, or else I will like audiobook it or something if my physical copy is delayed forever, because everything is delayed right now. The bonus challenge for this readathon is to read Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng, who is Chinese by the way, and it's also to like watch the show and stuff. You don't have to watch the show, I presume. You can do what you want, but this is just a bonus challenge. You don't have to do it. It's kind of like a group book, but it's like you don't have to do this challenge. You can just do the other 4, but I decided to pick this up because I have been wanting to read it for years. I just never have, and I have ordered my copy and it should be here in May, hopefully. I don't know what it's about, but I just know I have seen it forever and I want to read it. I have her other book, but I don't have this one. Excited to read a book and hopefully maybe watch the show. Yay! That was all the challenges for Asian Readathon itself, but I am also doing Got a Thing for Spring, which is my own reading challenge that I do every single season, and then there's 4 challenges for each month, and I already picked my books out for that once ago, but I made them all Asian on purpose in preparation for Asian Readathon. So I'm going to show you those just really quick because I already showed them in the other Got a Thing for Spring TBR video. Now of course there won't be different ethnicities for every single book. I'll still tell you the ethnicities if I remember, because then if you want to pick up any of these you will know that they are different for you to find out your challenge things, even though they're probably all in a Google Doc, so you can just search them up there if you're unsure. We have Pachinko by Min Jin Lee, who is Korean. It's a book set in Korea. This is actually for some reason a Norwegian arc, so I just decided to go with my copy. It's strange to read books in Norwegian, that's all I gotta say. I Hear the Sunspot by Yuki Fumino. This one is a manga, so the author is Japanese. One of the characters here has a hearing disability and then needs to meet and form a special relationship. I don't know if they actually get together, but I think so. Then we have The Love and Lies of Rukhsana Ali, and Rukhsana Ali is Bangladeshi and also Muslim and a lesbian, by Sabina Khan. I am very excited for this. And the last book I will read for Got a Thing for Spring is Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan, and this one is set in Singapore and the author is Singaporean, and I have seen the movie and it was really fun, so hopefully I will like the book. Yay! So those are the 4 books for Got a Thing for Spring. 9 books altogether, 5 for the challenges and then 4 for Got a Thing for Spring. But I need to read much more than that. So I have filled the rest of my books for the month full with Asian books, and I'm gonna just show you them all. Of course, that's why we are here. I know I just talked about these 2, but I have decided for Asian Readathon that I'm gonna reread An Ember in Ashes and Diaries of Grey, Son of K on audiobook, so I'm gonna cry and suffer on purpose. This is really because the last book in this series is coming out in December, so I want to read through the whole series again before that. I only read 1 and 2. I'm sure 3 is amazing as well, so I just want to reread them all and suffer extra before the 4th book is out in December. And a sequel to this is coming in August, so it's the perfect time to reread it now in May, and I want to listen to them both on audiobook because that's how I usually like to reread my books, to discover it again but in a different way. Those are just my 2 first audiobooks for the month. If I manage to finish those 2, then I will pick something else and you will see my wrap up. So I actually had so many Asian books on my TBR that I didn't get to pick out them all. Picked out the ones that popped the most for me in that moment. We have Asha, the Shantanu of Riches by Varshney Chakshi. Varshney Chakshi is Filipino and Indian. This is the 3rd book in the Asha quartet, and this one It was just released and I just ordered my copy, so it's not here yet. And if it's not here for Asian Readathon, then I have other books at least. Asha Quadrat follows Asha, who finds out that she is basically godly, and it is based on Indian mythology, and it's so much fun, and I'm so excited. We then have Blood Air by Amelia Wen Shao, I'm sorry, and who is Chinese, and this one was released last November and my copy is coming and I'm so excited. Do I know what it is about? No, but I'm very excited, so I had to read it as soon as possible. We then have Kingdom of the Blazing Phoenix by Julie C. Dao, who is Vietnamese, and I read actually the first book in the series for Asian Readathon last year. It's time to read the sequel and I really liked it, so I'm just very excited for it. The first one was an evil queen retelling, and I think this is like a Snow White retelling, but in an Asian setting, if I remember correctly. I will then pick up The Dragon Pearl by Yoon Ha Lee, who is Korean, and this one is another book in the Rick Riordan's Presents based on Korean mythology and stuff, and it's also a sci-fi, I believe. I wanted to read this since I got it ages ago, and now it's finally the time. I'm so excited. I then have Want by Cindy Pan, who is Taiwanese, and this one is a YA sci-fi, and do I remember what it's about? No, but I am excited, yes. I had it for a long while, I'm just so excited to pick it up now, and it was the time, okay? I'm just so excited to pick up all these books because there's just so many books I want to read all the time. I'm so excited to finally pick up these that I had for such a long time. That's all I'm gonna say, yay. We then have A Pale View of the Hills by Kazuo Ichiguro, who won the Nobel Prize in Literature, who is British Japanese, I believe, and I do not know what this is about. I basically picked it up because I want to read the works of this author, and it's adult fiction, I believe, and I'm excited. It's very tiny, I was really surprised, but I am ready to read some fiction, yay. Oh my god, my mom is walking outside my window, can she not? Oh my god. We then have The Serpent's Secret by Sayantani Das Gupta, who is Indian, and this one is a middle grade and it just looks so fun. I have had it for ages and I was like, I need to pick this up now. So it's here, yay. And then we have A Crown of Wishes, also by Varshney Chashi, and this one I had to pick up because I read The Star-Touched Queen, which is the first book to this, even though this is kinda a spin-off slash sequel, and it's one of the best books I read this year, so I was like, I need to read this now, and I am finally catching up on all of Varshney Chashi's books, so that is how it's supposed to be. I'm just very excited to read more for glorious writing, that's all. And I then also picked up Prodigy by Mary Lu, who is also Chinese, and this is a sequel to Legend, which is like an old wild dystopia, and I read Champion like not even last year, the year before, and I feel like I should finish this series. I have like the whole series of this and her next series, the Young Elites, and also I have Warcross, so if I need really like a lot of books for Asian Readathon, if I like manage to read like super fast, I have a lot of hers to like fill in, and yeah, I just decided to pick up this one to like continue the series at least. Not counting the audiobooks, we are now up in 18 books, but I need to pick out at least 20 and then I will stop. I will read Furthermore by Farah Mafi, who is Iranian, I believe, and this one is her middle grade and I'm so excited to read it. I have the sequel as well, but I like to like spread them out a bit. I would like to read that too, but I'm reading this instead. I'm reading the first one first, and my mom is right there. Please go away. I will pick up from Twinkle with Love by Sanya Menon. Really enjoyed When Dimple Met Rishi, so I'm so excited to continue with her books. I'm behind now and it's not good. I want to catch up on them all. I want to read them all, and Sanya Menon is Indian and I'm just so excited. Yay. So that is 20 books. Oh my god, now my sister's there too, and that's even more awkward because she definitely does not know I'm filming videos and now they are making noise. It's great. I have Winter Song by S.J. Jones as well as the sequel, and I don't think I will have time for this, but that's my reserve book if I do, just so you know. I actually need to read 25 books to reach my goal of 300, but I have these short ones here that I will read in between long books. I have The Complete Persepolis, which is a graphic novel. I was severely interrupted. People were knocking on my window and I got a phone call. I don't even know what happened, or even was I was talking about The Complete Persepolis. It's by Marjana Satrapi and it's, oh my god, that was my water thing. It's set in Iran under the revolution there, so I just heard good things about it for like ages. And we then have this one manga. Have more manga on the way. It will be in my wrap up when they arrive. We have Lovahina 1 omnibus version, and this one, it's like 3 mangas in one, and I had it for years because I really wanted to read it. It's about this dude who meets a girl. Every time he meets another girl, he thinks it's her because they met when they were young, because they were supposed to meet at this uni, and then you don't know who that girl actually is. I think that was a concept I was told many years ago, and I wanted to read it since then, and I still haven't. I wished it for my birthday for my friend. I think I was like in high school, and like I love manga, I just don't know why I hadn't picked it up yet, and I'm excited to read this month because I don't have that many other mangas and stuff because they never arrive. Joking, but I won't have that many. I then have 2 poetry collections by Rupi Kaur, Milk and Honey and The Sun and Her Flowers. Had this for a while, and I know that they will be very quick reads, so I'm counting them as like super quick reads in between other things. And I believe that the author is Indian. That was a big pile of books. Overall, I think I will be able to complete 20 books. With the audiobooks and the short books, I will have reached my goal of 25, I think. The point is that in May is the last month I will be writing books for my thesis. My thesis is supposed to be delivered like 3rd or 2nd of June. So obviously I need to spend a lot of time working on that, but it's not like a super long thesis and more like a paper than a thesis really, but I translated it would be a thesis, my bachelor thesis, but it's more of a paper, whatever. So like in theory I should spend a lot of time on that, but also all the free time I usually spend on reading, so I think it will be okay. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I am so excited to just read Asian books the whole month, and I realized I forgot one. I know. I'm gonna read American as Paneer Pie by Supriya Kelkar, and this one is an arc actually, and it's being released in June, so reading it in May I would have had to do anyway, but it's also like Asian. I believe the author is Indian if I remember correctly. That was my last book for this. This is middle grade, I believe. I need to read that in May anyway, so I forgot to mention it. I'm sorry. I remembered it now right before quitting this. Again, a lot of books. So excited for All Asian Month. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. You will see me soon in a new video. Bye!